Most piano students assume that if something feels awkward in their fingers, the answer is just more practice, and sometimes that's true. But I was working with a student on Hanon just last night, and we noticed something that stopped us both. Her thumb? No problem. Clear, direct, and easy to move. Her other fingers? Well, something was happening entirely differently. And once you understand what that difference is, it changes how you think about technique completely. Now, just to be clear, let's look at the piano for a moment. I'm going to put my hand over the keys. It doesn't really matter which ones. But think about how our hand moves. I can extend my thumb, or I can extend these other four fingers. Now, if I'm moving my thumb, it's relatively easy to target one key, maybe B, maybe A, maybe G. I'm trying to get one finger on one key. But now let's think about this. If I'm moving this part of my hand, I have, well, for sure, the middle three fingers, 2, 3, and 4. Pinky, you can probably, or fifth finger, more correctly, you can extend that fifth finger up. You can hit an octave, for instance. Excuse me. Or you can hit a seventh, you can hit a sixth. You can hit anything with these outside fingers. But these middle three, when you're reaching over, your brain has a very subtle decision it needs to make. If I'm going to reach for A, let's say, am I going with my fourth, my third, my second? If that isn't immediately clear, your brain has a decision to make. So when it's reaching for that, if you're not absolutely clear, there's going to be this tiny pause, almost like your brain has to stop and figure something out first. Wait, which finger goes there? It's a small pause, and you might not even notice it, but it's there and it matters more than people realize. Here's exactly what we were seeing in the Hanon work. Now, I'm using the easy Hanon version. I was for the student last night as well, and I'm going to go right to the example we had just because it makes much more sense. Now, if we look at, this happens to be exercise 19. If we look at, I'm going to focus on left hand. Here's the first measure. And in regular Hanon and in easy Hanon, both do a good job of putting finger numbers for this first measure. I think I missed. You can already see I'm trying to decide when I'm talking at the same time. Anyway, it's fairly clear to see where your hand moves. And as that first line continues, the fingering stays more or less there. But when we get to measure 4, a lot of this fingering has dropped out on this note in particular. Now, it's fairly easy to see that I start on F and I reach up to D. Then, okay, third finger should pretty much be sitting on the B. But if you're thinking about a lot of other things, do you realize there's this kind of, oh, wait, do I use my second finger? I could just as well reach it with 2. Oh, is it 3? And that's where my brain gets tripped up. It happened to this student last night, and it suddenly struck me that the way our hands move makes all the difference. So what is actually going on? It's not finger strength, and that's almost never the real issue. It's more a case of mapping. Your thumb has been doing things your whole life, picking things up, gripping, pointing. It has a very clear, well-established representation in your brain. Your other fingers, 3 and 4, much less defined. Your brain doesn't have the same crisp picture of where they are and what they're doing. And when we increase that cognitive load, as Hanon can be kind of good at doing sometimes, it gives you interesting patterns, and you have to think through, where are those fingers? So when your hand moves to a new position and one of those fingers needs to land on a specific note, your brain has to do a lot more work in a short amount of time. It's got to figure out the interval, and then it needs to decide which finger belongs there. And then, of course, actually execute the movement. That's 3 steps when your thumb is basically doing 1 step. And this really connects directly to something I talk about a lot. At the piano, you're always managing multiple things at once: reading, movement, coordination, rhythm. Your brain is juggling all of it in real time. And when any part of that system isn't fully organized, it costs more in bandwidth. So, something as small as which finger goes there? If that decision you're making in the moment, it's pulling from the same mental budget as everything else. If you're having to decide, if that isn't automatic, that's how a passage looks simple on the page, but it can still feel unstable when you play it. And it's also, later on in other pieces, why fingering is important. You really want to be consistent in your fingering. If you are constantly second guessing which finger is going where, you are creating a lot of drag on the bandwidth and you're slowing everything down, and that makes it feel a lot harder. So, this is why you can have a passage that's not technically difficult, but something somehow still feels unclear. And it's not that your fingers can't do it, it's that your brain hasn't finished organizing the movement yet. So instead of the motion feeling automatic, it feels like a decision. And decisions take time and effort. And under pressure, they're the first thing to break down. Decision fatigue is a real thing. So, what do you actually do with this? Instead of just repeating the pattern and hoping it gets clearer, slow it down and ask a better question. Which finger is actually going to that note? Name it before you play it. Now, you might have to do this slowly and it might feel clunky at first, but later on it's going to clear up all that decision fatigue and it's going to save bandwidth. Even better, before you move at all, let your hand feel where it's going, feel the position, let your fingers settle into the shape before the motion happens. That's a completely different kind of practice than just repetition. Repetition can reinforce a fuzzy movement 1,000 times and it still stays fuzzy. What we need is clarity here. This approach builds a clear mental map, and that's what makes movement feel automatic instead of effortful. So, the next time something feels unclear in your fingers, before you assume it's a strength issue or a practice time issue, ask yourself this: does my thumb know where it's going? Probably yes. Do my other fingers? And that's where the real work is. Once you start training that awareness, not just the motion, but the map behind the motion, everything becomes way more stable. Now, if you'd like a little more help with figuring out where you are in this process, I have a reading assessment in the description below. Go ahead and click on that. I'd be happy to help you sort out more of these issues.